Hi everyone, let's talk about female power, bright and dark side of female power within us. So, welcome again and greeting you warmly wherever you are in the world and listening to this. Um, Female aspect of ourselves and how it was suppressed. Um, I I don't know if you heard recently what's happening, what's going on in Poland, where I am coming from, but this actually is um, present all over the world. Every now and then comes out the rights of women and so on. And so I'm going to say very, very simply about it. It is it is all happening because of these aspects are not congruent within us, and of course because of what happened in our history. But before we go out there on the street to fight for our rights as women, I I suggest, I'm not advising anyone, that first of all is to feel our female power within us, and why female bright and a destructive power of that. I will explain that in a bit. But since I'm talking about feminine aspect, well, I'm going to probably talk about vagina. Yes and no, not in a sexual sense, but in a sense of a life force. So first of all, I have a question for you. Where is it coming from, all this absurd and craziness, insanity? Did it ever happen in a history that women were deciding about penises? I don't remember. Maybe you tell me. And what kind of absurdo situation is right now, especially right now in Poland actually, where men are deciding about vaginas? And another thing is, when I say the word vagina, there's still some aspect of taboo around this word, and um, um, it was suppressed in a history, and suppression of our female power came not only from the system but also from the beliefs from I dare to say Catholic Church and also other religions. So we have patriarchate still. Before we had matriarchate. I don't know if I say that one correctly, but there was a time in history when we had very threatening goddesses like Kali and Sahmet, and I'm not going to get into details of that because we would have to go for many hours and go in every culture. And of course, I can understand that men were afraid of that, and they were right. Because if the bright side of the female power turns into the dark side, becomes very destructive, and we all know about it. So this power has very, very big results and impact on us. And no, it wasn't Freud who did that to us. It happened before, long time before. I'm talking about this guy who had tight pants. And about this, a wonderful person talks about, and I really recommend to watch her. I wrote the name because I have a problems with pronunciation of that name. It's a Tunisian woman, Qatar Darmoni, and she said something very, very beautiful about vaginas, and that this is a gate to paradise. And of course, Freud was insane, and of course, I agree with her. But in a history, because men were afraid of that power, and they were right to some sort of degree, when diva with diva have this destructive power and it's activated, it's not going to be third, you know, international, what word I should not use on YouTube, but we're going to have many, many battles that will end badly for us. So what happened? Those goddesses, because we had to sustain the belief system in our society, they turn into polite goddesses like Lakshmi, Saint Mary, and I have nothing against those. I love it. However, this is what occurred in a historic in a historical period of time. Considering the bright and the dark side of feminine power, the bright side of it is embracing, taking care of, embracing, hugging, being. And the destructive side of that, when something goes wrong, you are going to annoy a woman, her female aspect. She is going to possess this. Embracing will be dominant and squeezing, and she will, what is the right word for it? I don't want to, she will eat you, but it sounds like it. I'm so sorry, I'm not talking about sexual sense, but this is almost like she will saturate you in this sense. You cease to exist, this male aspect. So there is definitely something to worry about. The bright side of a woman, female aspect, is decoration, warmth, creating this warm environment, nourishing, so the man can build a house, but the woman will be the one that will make it possible to live there in a harmony. Some of you maybe heard of Sadhguru, which I love the videos, and he was mentioning about the construction of the temples, or feminine aspect of it, and the feminine aspect was a triangle. So some of you know that already, and the other aspect, that the triangle with triangle connection, integration of both, is this star, you know, the not pentagram, the other one, the sextagram. So just talking about this one before the last one, sexual energy is also female aspect in a sense of being seductive. And here again, it could be positive, it could be again the polarity of being going toward a femme fatale. And this seducting side of the female aspect, for some people may not have a good connotation with it, but it is also about coming from the deep sense of knowing who you are, self-confidence, and giving undivided attention to what's happening. So it's more coming from that. Some of you who had something, or coming from the cultures from Cuba, Ecuador, African cultures, they know very well how you have that. You never lost this aspect. European people, most of them, they were surprised. They lost this aspect of feminine, and they have to discover it from the very beginning. Because why? Those, I would say, warm cultures in Africa, they were supporting the image of the woman and telling them how beautiful they are, how nicely they are moving. In Europe, it was often the other way around. You are too fat, too thin, you know, and there is this advertisement. So we had, from the very, very beginning, women in Europe, partially, or actually big in American culture. I'm not talking about Afro-American culture. I think they still were able to tap to their roots, and they are very, very strong with their roots. So they never lost it, and they know how to be feminine totally. However, European women very often had a lot to conquer with the system, with the way of raising up. And what's interesting about it, there was seemingly far more suppression in countries like Tunisia, in Africa, and you would think that they would lose it first, but for some reason those women kept this power at home. They were maybe not exploring it outside when they left the home, but the moment they arrived home, they maintain it, they dance together, they sustain it, they support each other. So it's something very interesting, and I personally learned a lot from those women, and also from those men who were truly and not afraid of showing the male aspect of their confidence, how it is, giving this undivided attention to women. All right, so how to feel your feminine aspect and just a joke, go for a dating with those from these cultures who never lost it. But that's just a joke, because not understanding anything about that culture may be also destructive for women who never ever experience that, and they do not know how to deal with it. But seriously speaking, there is no powerful tool than dance, dance. Otherwise, we lost. We know that from Pina Bausch. And how to start from your breath, from your hips. And there was also in the yoga meditations, also in the meditations of Joe Dispenza, you had this contractions of the muscles, and the muscles in our vagina also, it's like a feeling. There are a lot of people already explained that, but it's a feeling when, even when you work with your computer, you are at work, you going somewhere, practice those muscles, practice the breath first, and those basic muscles, because indeed this is the basic part, how we can integrate this, how we can start to feel our female aspect. And only when those three are working together, then we can go out there to act in the world. Otherwise, it's not so possible, or we are not heard, or we are not maybe feeling that confidence within us. And it is a practice. And one of my teachers used to say, Joanna, mess this up. Let it go, mess this up, because you have to go out there into the world and say something maybe wrong thousands of times, but at least you are practicing, you are becoming better every time you do something. So do not stay home. If you have something, idea to share, artwork, share with the world, show it, say the words, and be out there, because you are practicing. It's all right. So we start from our breath, our hips, from the dance, wherever you are, whether you are working, whether you're sitting in the office. Always the movement is the opposition of stagnation. Stagnation means death, and some people who never move in their life, it's almost for them, and they say that very often to me, it's almost like they live on this automatic pilot, and they don't feel vibrant in their body. They do not know what their life is about, because they thought it's about money, about the position, but then eventually they always lack something. And yes, it starts in the vagina. It starts there for female, for women, and this has to be activated daily, this force, because every little trauma, the little one, and some had many of those, makes this energy blocked within our body, suppressed. And of course the system, the society, the suppression of it also caused us not to show it. And now we are in this time when we cannot go to the club, and I'm talking about social dancing, where you could feel that power, you could feel just healed when you dance with the partner, when you can feel more female, when you have this right dancer partner that gives you this sense of stability, being there for you and giving you the perfect leading. And I wish I can recommend it right now. Unfortunately, we still have the situation we have, so I can't, but you are at home and you can do something for yourself. And before I'm going to keep talking, one of my friends said, yapping, I am going to start with you, and some movement. It is just a proposition. It's coming from different cultures, element. I love them all. I had great teachers, and whether it's a dance, African way of moving the hips, belly dancing, tap, modern jazz, which is my part. I love modern jazz. Salsa, Latino dances, this all moves your hips, so you can feel your basic life force. And it's an interesting thing, because when I heard that expression that vagina is our gate to the paradise. For some may have purely sexual meaning, but when some of you heard already that when I entered the one of the psychic people room, I saw her standing in the column of light, and this gate to paradise I personally understand as being in this personal bliss, because when that life, that primal life force flows within us, we are connected through our heart, our mind, to something bigger than us, and that flow of bliss constantly flows. So this is my understanding of gates to heaven, paradise, or however you call it. So I'm going to show you very quickly. You can pick for yourself the best way of how to start activating the power within yourself. I'm going to do that with the music, and you please pick the movement that fits you the best. And this is not for not particularly for dancers. Dancers know how to do it, but this is for people who never danced before, who never moved their hips. So I'm going to go very slowly and show you only those basics. You can stop the video and you can try to do it with me. All right, so this is not a fashion, this is just for the purpose. So first thing, the bouncing happens in every type of dancing. You can go from side to side, you can just bounce and shake, you can do it faster, you can still do it slow, that's up to you. So the pace, the rhythm, up to you. But it's very important that first of all, you just brush off, relax, and move your body. The first way you can try it out, hips to the side. And again, up to you how you are going to do that. But the very important part is the rest of your body is relaxed. Yeah. The next one. Remember that 8, number 8. That's also the symbol in a geometry. So we paint that with our hips. We go and paint. And some of you, if you like it, you can also connect the movement of your hips with the affirmation. What do you want? Some of you who never moved before can think of what you want to get rid of. So this additional movement is to get rid of something you do not want anymore in your life. Make sure you go in the circles in the 8. You can go smoothly. You can add putting harder your heel to the ground, so you have the moment of jumping, throwing, 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 or smooth. Now the next one, this one is from the Latino dances. Imagine this is like a boat. So from side to side. And you can step to the side, you come back. Step to the side, come back. And step. And in between, relax. And step. And step. That's basic coming from the Cuban salsa. Next one. Next one will be coming from the belly dance. When you are, it almost feels like a throwing energy upwards, so you can imagine what you want. So when you push one side of your hip up, of course they have the other way around, so you can go also down, down. You can go up and down, and down. And again, you can go it slow or faster. You can repeat or you can stop the video and try to do the other side. Up. I do it with you. Assuming you're out there somewhere. And down, down, down. Now, if you lift your hip front, it's a little bit lifted up, but you can also turn front. That's more typical for the African and Latino dances. In the belly dance is the other way around. Your hip goes down. So the movement first is when the hip goes down. And every time you relax. So every time you can move your hips to the side, also in the pace you like it. But when you do that, you can also try to relax the rest of your body. Now the next one is when you put attention to your bone, your bottom of your spine, and the first movement is outside down. You can try it a few times. Try to relax the rest of the body so you can also move. And the other way around is front, front, front. So when you move front, you can go front a little bit. When you go back, you can walk back. Front, 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 back, back, front, 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 back, 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 back. And again, the same applies that you are doing it in your own pace, so you're not stressing. The upper body, shoulders, whether you move it backwards, front, just like that, without the circles, or in the circles, or one goes back, the other way, one goes front, yeah? Whatever you do, make sure that you feel how your whole body is relaxing. You can also add a little bit of the head to it. Be careful with that, especially when you never moved before, or maybe 7 months ago, who knows? All right, I'm gonna come back for just sit with you for just a second. I hope this was just a very, very little part, because this is not a lesson right now. So I just give you the idea how you can start to feel that basic power within yourself, and then you can tap more how it flows through all your body. I hope this was helpful. Let me know about it. I am reading all the comments, especially in English language. Sometimes on the Polish side I cannot manage, but definitely here, yes. So I'm looking forward. Let me know what you think, and till the next time, have a wonderful day out there. Bye bye.